The discipline of perception. Mastering your inner citadel, the first and most crucial practice in Stoicism, is what the modern scholar Pierre Haddock called the discipline of perception. It all begins with a simple but radical idea, most famously articulated by Epictetus: some things are within our control, and some things are not. This concept, known as the dichotomy of control, is the bedrock upon which all other Stoic practices are built. To truly grasp its power, one must understand the man who championed it. Epictetus was born a slave in the Roman Empire. Every day, his body, his freedom, and his time belonged to another man. In such an extreme state of powerlessness, he discovered the ultimate form of power: the complete and total sovereignty over his own mind. He realized that while his master could command his body, he could never command his thoughts, his judgments, or his will. This is the origin of the inner citadel, a fortress of the mind that remains free even when the body is in chains. This historical context is vital. It proves this isn't a mere intellectual exercise for the comfortable, but a survival strategy forged in the crucible of profound adversity. So, what, precisely, is within our control? The Stoics are incredibly specific. The only things truly up to us are our voluntary judgments, our impulses to act, our desires, our aversions, in short, the operations of our own mind, and what is not in our control. Literally everything else. This includes not just the big things like our birth circumstances or the global economy, but the small things too. Whether someone smiles back at you, whether you hit traffic, whether your body gets sick, you can influence these things with your actions. You can be kind to get a smile, leave early to avoid traffic, eat well to stay healthy, but you cannot ultimately command the outcomes. The distinction is between a 100% guarantee and a hopeful influence. The Stoics urge us to invest our emotional energy only in the 100% guarantee, our own choices and judgments. This is a radical departure from the modern obsession with manifesting specific outcomes or controlling every variable. The Stoic finds freedom not in controlling the world, but in relinquishing the need to. The core of this discipline is the mastery of our judgments. The Stoics identified a three-step process that happens in an instant. First comes the impression, the raw, unfiltered data from our senses. My boss is frowning. The doctor used the word abnormal. I received a critical comment online. These are just facts. The second step is assent. The moment we agree that the impression is true. The final, and most dangerous, step is adding a value judgment. This is where we attach labels like good, bad, terrible, or unfair. So, my boss is frowning becomes my boss is angry with me. I'm going to be fired. This is a catastrophe. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself constantly, erase the judgment. His practice was to interrupt this chain reaction. He would consciously stop at the impression. Words were spoken. A physical sensation is occurring. The number in my bank account has decreased. He trained himself to withhold assent from the automatic, catastrophic judgments that follow. In that pause between impression and judgment lies our power and our peace. Let's apply this to a modern context. Social media. You scroll through Instagram and see photos of a friend's lavish vacation, perfect family, and successful career. The impression is just a series of pixels on a screen, but the automatic judgment can be, their life is so much better than mine. I am a failure. I am unhappy. This judgment is the source of envy and despair, and it is entirely a product of your own mind. A Stoic practitioner would pause and dissect this. I am seeing curated images that someone chose to post. This is external. My judgment that my life is inferior is internal. I do not have to assent to this judgment. I can choose instead to be happy for my friend, or simply observe the images for what they are and move on, focusing my energy on my own controllable actions. The same applies to health anxiety. A strange ache appears in your side. The catastrophic judgment is, this is a deadly disease. A Stoic approach is to separate the two. There is a physical sensation. That is all I know for sure. The responsible action is to see a doctor. Fretting and panicking before I have facts is a choice, and an unhelpful one. By deconstructing our reactions in this way, we reclaim our autonomy from our own knee-jerk emotions. The inner citadel isn't built overnight. It is built brick by brick. With every single impression we refuse to turn into a destructive judgment. It is the art of differentiating between what is happening to us and what is happening within us, and realizing that only the latter truly defines our well-being. The discipline of action. Forging resilience through practice, understanding the dichotomy of control, is the intellectual foundation, but Stoicism is fundamentally a philosophy for living. It demands daily, conscious practice. The second pillar, the discipline of action, is about how we behave in the world, guided by our mastered perceptions. It's about translating theory into tangible exercises that forge character, build resilience, and prepare us for the challenges of human existence. These aren't just mental tricks. They are a regimen for the soul, a set of mental weights and repetitions to strengthen our ruling faculty. One of the most powerful Stoic exercises is called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Seneca, in a letter to his friend Lucilius, urged, "He who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." This is a deliberate, structured practice of negative visualization. Here's how to do it. First, set aside 5 to 10 minutes in a quiet space. Second, choose a domain of your life, your career, a relationship, an upcoming project. Third, vividly and specifically imagine things going wrong. Don't just think the project might fail. Imagine the details. A key client pulls out, the technology crashes during the demo, your team misses the deadline. Feel the initial sting of that failure. Fourth, and this is the most important step, visualize yourself responding to this failure with virtue. Imagine yourself acting with calm, courage, and resourcefulness. You don't panic. You gather your team. You communicate honestly with stakeholders. You start formulating a new plan. You practice being your best self in the face of the worst. Finally, return to the present moment, where this failure has not occurred. The result is a profound sense of gratitude and preparedness. This practice serves 3 functions. It psychologically inoculates you against the shock of future setbacks. It helps you identify potential weaknesses in your plans, and it makes you deeply appreciate your current reality. A second key practice is what is known as the view from above. This is a meditative exercise Marcus Aurelius described frequently. It's an act of radical perspective shifting. Begin by visualizing your own body in your current location. Then, zoom out, as if you were a drone, seeing your building, your neighborhood, your city. Continue to zoom out, seeing your country as a patch on the continent, then the earth as a beautiful, swirling blue marble against the infinite blackness of space. Contemplate the sheer scale of the cosmos, the billions of galaxies, the unfathomable distances. From this cosmic perch, now try to locate yourself, a single, infinitesimal speck. Think of the entirety of human history that has unfolded on this tiny stage, or the wars, the triumphs, the love, the despair. From this perspective, consider the problem that is currently consuming your thoughts: a workplace conflict, a financial worry, a social slight. See how it shrinks in significance against the vast backdrop of space and time. This exercise is a powerful antidote to ego. It doesn't make your problems disappear, but it contextualizes them, reminding you of your connection to the larger human family and the transient nature of your personal concerns. It fosters a sense of sympathia, the Stoic belief in the interconnectedness of all things. The third practice, perhaps the most famous, is memento mori, remember that you will die. In our death-denying culture, this sounds morbid. For the Stoics, it was the ultimate tool for living with purpose and clarity. It's not about dwelling on the void, but about using the reality of death as a filter for your daily actions. To practice this, you can ask yourself throughout the day, if this were my last day on earth, would I be spending my time this way? Would I be engaging in this petty argument? Would I be procrastinating on that important task? This thought experiment forces prioritization. It separates the vital from the trivial. It compels you to act with kindness and urgency, to not leave important words unsaid, and to not waste your precious, finite time on anger or anxiety over things you cannot control. Finally, a cornerstone practice that ties all others together is the Stoic journal. This is not a diary of events, but a philosophical logbook. Seneca recommended a nightly review, and we see the results in Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. The practice is simple. In the evening, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do wrong today? What did I do right? What duty was left undone? This isn't about harsh self-criticism, but about honest, objective self-assessment. Where did I let my judgments run wild? Where did I successfully act with virtue? By analyzing your own behavior without blame, you identify patterns and can better prepare for the following day. You can even use the journal in the morning to set your intentions, anticipating the challenges of the day ahead and reminding yourself of the virtues you will need to employ. This act of writing solidifies your philosophical practice, turning abstract ideas into a concrete, daily routine of self-improvement. The discipline of will, achieving virtue and tranquility, having mastered our perception and taken control of our actions. We arrive at the third and final stage. The discipline of will. This is the Stoic endgame, the culmination of all our training. It concerns our ultimate purpose and how we face the things we truly cannot change, our fate. This discipline is about cultivating a will that not only accepts reality but embraces it, finding good in every outcome by responding with virtue. It is about understanding that while the world provides the script, we are the actors, and our moral character is the quality of our performance. For the Stoics, the sole, unambiguous good in life is virtue, not wealth, not health, not pleasure, not fame. These things are value indifferent. They are not bad, but they are not intrinsically good either, because they can be used for good or ill. Money can fund a hospital or a war. Health can be used to serve others or to commit crimes, because they are not fully in our control and have no inherent moral quality. A wise person does not stake their happiness on them. The only thing that is always good and always in our control is our own character and the virtuous choices we make. This virtue is expressed through four cardinal qualities. First is wisdom, which is not about IEQ, but about the practical knowledge of what is truly good, bad, and indifferent. It is the ability to navigate the complexities of life with clarity and sound judgment. The second virtue is justice. For the Stoics, this goes far beyond legal fairness. It stems from the concept of okaiosis, the understanding that all of humanity is our kin. We are all fragments of a single, universal reason. Therefore, to act with justice is to act for the common good. It means treating others with respect, kindness, and fairness, not because we expect something in return, but because it is the right thing to do. Harming another person, from this perspective, is like the left hand choosing to harm the right. It is an act of self. The third virtue is courage. This is not recklessness or the absence of fear. It is the moral and mental fortitude to do what is right and face reality as it is, even when it is difficult or frightening. It's the courage to have a difficult conversation, to stand up for one's principles, or to face a serious illness without despair. The fourth virtue is temperance. This is the virtue of moderation, self-control, and discipline. It is the mastery of our desires for pleasure, praise, and comfort, so that we are not slaves to them. It's about enjoying the indifference without becoming dependent on them, maintaining balance and harmony in one's life. Your will, what the Stoics called the proheresis or the ruling faculty, is the part of you that chooses to act in accordance with these virtues. It is the CEO of your mind. Its one job is to take the raw data from your perceptions and the tools from your active practices and choose a virtuous response, no matter what. Did you receive a devastating diagnosis? The will chooses to face it with courage. Did someone betray you? The will chooses to respond with justice and wisdom, not vengeful rage. This is what leads to the ultimate state of Stoic existence. Ataraxia, or a state of profound inner tranquility and freedom from disturbance. This is not the cold, emotionless state of popular caricature. It is the deep, unshakable calm that comes from knowing you have staked your well-being on the one thing you lose your own character. It is the peace that comes from a clear conscience and a will aligned with nature. The highest expression of this discipline is the concept of amorphatia, love of one's fate. Though famously articulated by Nietzsche, has deep Stoic roots. It is the practice of moving beyond mere acceptance of events to actively embracing them as necessary and even desirable. It is the conviction that everything that happens, without exception, is an opportunity to practice virtue. The flight cancellation is an opportunity to practice patience. A harsh criticism is an opportunity to practice a financial loss is an opportunity to practice temperance and resilience. The Stoic does not wish for things to be easier. They wish for themselves to be stronger. They trust that whatever the universe throws at them is the perfect raw material from which to forge virtue. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In summary, the three disciplines form a complete operating system for life. Perception teaches you to see the world clearly. Action gives you the tools to practice. And will gives you the strength to find your good in acting virtuously, no matter the outcome. This is the path to the Stoics, in a citadel, a fortress, built not of stone, but of a well-ordered, resilient, and tranquil mind.